doctors ask Supreme Court to strike down Trump abortion rule. Washington AP. The nation's largest doctors group on Thursday asked the Supreme Court to strike down a Trump administration rule that's had a far-reaching impact on family planning by prohibiting taxpayer-funded clinics from referring women for abortion. The American Medical Association acted after two U.S. appeals courts issued conflicting rulings on the legality of the Trump administration restrictions, which apply to clinics that mainly serve low-income women. We do think this conflict needs to be resolved, and we need to figure out how to deliver services under a program that has had bipartisan support for decades, said AMA President Dr. Susan Bailey. The AMA's move will raise the profile of reproductive rights issues, overshadowed by bigger election year battles. The recent death of liberal Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has prompted speculations that a more conservative court could overturn the Roe v. Wade decision that legalized abortion, as well as the Obama health law that expanded coverage and made birth control free for most women. But other changes to Title X, as the federal family planning program is known, are already in effect and getting much less attention. Last year, the Trump administration finalized a rule that prohibits clinics from referring pregnant women for abortion and imposes other restrictions, including a requirement for strict financial and physical separation of family planning facilities from ones that provide abortion. As a result, more than 900 out of nearly 4,000 clinics receiving federal funds left the program, including Planned Parenthood and its affiliates. Advocates say the exodus has disrupted care for women who receive birth control and routine medical attention from the clinic. The program usually serves some 4 million clients, and the AMA says that was down about 20% last year. The Trump administration's regulation warps and decimates Title X, the AMA said in its petition asking the Supreme Court to take the case. An appeals court based in San Francisco upheld the Trump administration's regulations, but a second court based in Richmond, Virginia, ruled in a Maryland case that the restrictions were invalid. The AMA says that means the administration's abortion referral rule is in effect everywhere but Maryland, casting the case as an issue of free speech and medical ethics. The AMA said the administration's rule attempts to control communication between clinicians and patients by prohibiting abortion referrals, while at the same time compelling clinics to refer pregnant women for prenatal care, even if a woman has decided that she wants to have an abortion. The patient-physician relationship is the cornerstone of good medical care. The patient must be able to believe and completely trust that their physicians are giving them all of their options, and that communication is not being blocked in any way, said Bailey. It's frankly against our code of medical ethics. In response, the Health and Human Services Department rejected the accusation that the regulation amounts to a gag rule and noted that the Federal Appeals Court in politically liberal San Francisco upheld it. Nonetheless, it was a conservative mix of appellate judges who decided the case. HHS also says it's trying to increase the number of patients served and improve quality. Long-standing laws prohibit the use of federal funds to pay for abortions, but the family planning rule is part of a broader Republican effort to shut down various streams of taxpayer money still available to Planned Parenthood, the nation's largest provider of abortions. That's been a critical priority for religious and social conservatives in President Donald Trump's political base. Abortion remains a legal medical procedure, but the number and rate of abortion is at its lowest point in nearly 50 years. Improved access to birth control is seen as one of the reasons. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden promises to rescind the Trump administration's family planning rule and also support allowing federal programs to pay for abortion. But the AMA says regardless of who wins the election, it believes the Supreme Court should address the issue and overturn the Trump administration rule. Title X has contributed to a 30-year low in unintended pregnancies, said Bailey. We can't afford to walk away from that progress. Joining the AMA petition are the ACLU, Planned Parenthood, the National Family Planning and Reproductive Health Association, and Essential Access Health, which administers the Title X Family Planning Program in California. Associated Press Supreme Court reporter Mark Sherman contributed.
Very good.
I read the article twice, and
That's why you didn't do any mistakes. I was like, wow, you were really good. But you cheated.
I'm much better. Actually, I'm much better at reading than having a regular conversation. After and while I was reading that article, I translated many words,
Okay.
so I fully understood the meaning of every word.
Okay. I was wondering why you weren't stopping to ask me any questions. Oh, now I know why. That's funny. Okay.
If you want to have a discussion about the content and core idea of the article with me, I'm glad to do that.
So what do you think about this article? What are your thoughts?
About intentionally terminate a pregnancy intentionally. I am against that for a religious background. And I want to ask you a question. The Supreme Court has the right to interfere in such case when two appealing courts release two different and opposing rules on a single case. The Supreme Court, I think, has the right to interfere and solve this problem, or not?
Yes. It does have the right because it's a higher part of the government, and so they can interfere in any case that they want to, just because they are high up and they can control whatever they want, which I think is not right. But I think that people should definitely not do termination to a child, because even if it's a child that is in a woman from like rape or whatever, it's not the child's fault that the mom was raped. So it deserves a life. It deserves to be happy because it's a child that came into this earth. So
yes,
I don't agree with abortion.
Yeah. Also, if someone wants to do that, to do abortion, it shouldn't be made uh, by taxpayers' money. The government doesn't collect
Yeah,
money from people to spend on abortion.
yeah.
It should be spended. It should be spend or spend it.
No, it should be spent
It's
on
supposed to
much
spend.
better things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the woman should have the baby, but then she should, if she doesn't want it, she should give it to a family that wants a child. And that way, that family can raise that child to be good and give it a good life.
Okay. Even if he is a child in the womb, he is still a soul,
Yeah,
and
he is.
should have all the rights that a normal person have. And the most important right is the right to live. No one has the right to kill an innocent baby.
I agree.
So I'm also against that
Yeah,
illegal abortion.
I'm extremely against abortion. So, um,
Are you a supporter of the Democratic or Republican Party?
I'm a supporter of people doing the right thing. So whether that's Democrat or Republican, if they're going to do the right thing, then I support them.
Okay. Are you still
Yes.
living in Peru or
I live in Mexico in Puerto
Mexico?
Vallarta. Yes.
I had two or more conversations with you before. I remember.
Yes, you did.
Where I am from,
I think you were from Saudi Arabia or Egypt. I can't remember.
Egypt.
Um,
Egypt. Yeah.
Egypt, that's where it was. Okay.
How are your children? How are they doing?
Say again.
How are your children?
Oh,
How
my
are they
children.
doing?
You went out for a second, so I couldn't hear what you said. My children are doing good. My little one is upstairs asleep, napping, and my daughter is doing schoolwork, and I think my son is doing schoolwork upstairs. So, and then my wife is cooking. So,
Okay. Are they studying their subjects in school in Spanish?
yes. Well, Spanish and English.
So they speak Spanish and English uh, in both efficiently and
Yep.
fluently, I think.
Yes, they do.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a very good thing for their future. So,
Language speaking, being able to speak more than one language increases your mental abilities and
yes.
intelligence in general.
Yes, it does.
And I'm planning to start learning Chinese
Oh,
recent
wow.
soon. I hope
Yeah.
I will do that uh, in a good way and in an efficient way. I've learned it more in my journey learning English, and I hope
Yeah.
I don't do the mistakes I did
Yeah.
while I was learning English. For example, not practicing or having conversations or try working on my speaking skills very much. Thank
Yeah. I think you can
you.
do it.